morning. Welcome back, everybody. Well, today's show is all about citrus, and we have a fabulous dessert recipe that I think you and your family will love. We're making key lime bars, and Lisa DeReicher is here from Zupa's. She makes the best lemon bars and 7-layer bars and red velvet cupcakes and whoopie pies. Good to see you, Lisa.
Nice to see you, too.
So I know you're the queen of lemon bars, and you serve giant lemon bars at Zupa's, so I thought, I bet she can do a mean key lime bar recipe, too.
Yes, and I love limes, too.
Me too,
yeah.
yeah.
They're just fantastic.
Something fun, something different. So key limes, I know they're a little hard to find around here. Can you substitute regular limes?
You can substitute the regular limes that you can find in the grocery store. Sometimes they're a little tart in comparison to a key lime. So I tend if I'm using limes in this recipe, I'll mix a little bit of lemon juice in with it just to kind of mellow it out a
Great
bit.
idea. Also, another secret is, and this is available even at the grocery store, I know they sell it at Cook's Corner, it's Nellie and Joe's key lime juice. And so it's all right there, right for you in that bottle.
All ready to use.
Love it. All right, so let's get started.
All right, we're going to start first by building our crust. We're going
Okay.
to make a crust that we'll bake, and then we'll make the key lime filling that'll go over the top.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple. I'll have you work on the crust.
Sure.
We've got 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour.
And I've got my apron on because this goes right into the food processor, and hopefully not too messy, but
Not too bad.
all that flour, I was worried.
But yeah,
Okay.
we're going to make a fairly big batch. We're using one of these 11 by 17 jelly roll pans. So if you're using a 9 by 13, you could always cut this recipe in half.
Okay.
We're going to add to it 1.5 cups of powdered sugar.
Okay.
This will give it a really nice crust.
Flour and powdered sugar.
Flour
all
and
right.
powdered sugar. And then I have 1.5 cups of unsalted butter. And
Okay.
I've got it cut into cubes already. That kind of helps it incorporate into the flour and the powdered sugar a little easier.
Do you
once
like it
have in the
cold?
process.
Do you like it room temperature? How do you like it for this
It's best
crust?
to have it cold.
Okay.
That'll give it a really nice crumb.
Okay.
If it sits at room temperature, then it kind of becomes a paste when you start mixing it in the
Okay.
processor.
Okay, so that's a good tip. For this, I know a lot of the baking recipes, we like your butter to be at room temperature for cookies and things like that.
Exactly.
But for the crust, we like it cold. Okay, so into our food processor.
Yep,
Just
and we're
pulse
gonna-
it a few times.
We're going to process it for a few minutes. We want it to kind of look like the consistency of sand.
Okay.
And make sure that the butter really gets chopped up. We don't want to have pieces or pockets of butter.
I love this recipe for a bake sale too because
Yes.
it does make a nice big batch, like you
makes
say.
some-
You're going to have
nice big batch.
plenty.
You can cut it down into any size that you want. I like to cut them into big pieces. That's
Yeah,
what we usually
yeah.
sell at the restaurant is nice big
But, if
pieces
you're
of
having the
dessert
ladies
bar.
over for book club or you're
Yeah.
doing a dessert party, you can certainly do little squares.
Exactly.
How are we doing here?
That
What are
looks
we looking
perfect.
for?
We're looking for, just exactly this, kind of a sandy consistency. And
Okay.
just to make sure that the butter is completely incorporated into the flour and the powdered sugar.
Okay.
We
Do I
will need
spray?
we'll need to spray our pan first.
Okay.
They will be very sticky. They'll be difficult to get out of the pan without spraying them first.
Okay.
So then we'll just pour this into our pan.
Okay. And just use your fingers basically to press it in?
Yep, exactly. We are going to be baking this, so we can just use our hands to kind of put this together.
All right.
And you'll just want to spread it around.
What
And
about the oven temperature?
the oven temperature should be at 350 degrees.
Okay.
And once we get this spread and kind of pat it down into the pan, it doesn't have to be pat down hard. It can stay kind of loose.
Okay.
That'll give it a really nice flaky kind of texture.
This is easy, this
Yeah.
crust.
Yep, very easy.
Okay.
And we'll bake this for about 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
And it'll be kind of brown and really nice looking. I think we have one in the oven.
Yeah, we do. But not too brown, right?
Not too brown. Yep. We want it to stay just so everything kind of comes together.
So that's what we're looking for.
So yep, that's what our finished
Get
crust
rid of our
looks like.
food processor and keep going with this recipe. All right, what's next?
We're going to jump over and use the stand mixer to mix this together. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can blend this with a whisk. Stand mixer just makes it a little easier and go a little faster. Now, the body of our lime bars is eggs.
Okay.
So we need 8 large eggs.
Okay.
So it takes quite a few for a recipe this size. And we're going to add to that, I'll just take this off here, 1/2 cup of our key lime juice. Now you can use either the bottled or you can
Use real key limes if you can find them.
use real key limes.
Or real limes with a little lemon juice.
Yep, just
but
maybe
bottom
a
line,
couple of tablespoons of
okay,
lemon juice.
about a quarter
Add
cup.
to it. Yep, about 1/2 cup.
Half a cup,
actually.
excuse me,
half a cup.
Okay.
And we're also going to add to it the zest of 3 limes.
Okay.
So that's going to give
I
it
like
some
that.
nice lime
Yeah,
flavor.
exactly.
Now, when I'm making these at the restaurant, sometimes they look a little too similar to my lemon bars. So I like to add some green food coloring to it, just so you see the difference between the lemon and the lime. I'm using this gel food coloring that you can find at cake supply stores. And the thing I love about this, it's by a company called AmeriColor. They're squeeze bottles.
I love that.
Instead of the little containers that you have to use a toothpick with.
Sure. Or also that, you know, you get it all over, or you put a little too much in.
Exactly.
And then you've got bright green key lime bars.
Exactly.
A little overkill.
So we just need 1 squirt.
Okay.
And we're going to put this in our mixer, and we're going to mix these ingredients together until our eggs and juice are all incorporated. That looks about right.
Okay.
Now, to help it all hold together, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour.
Okay.
So we're just going to mix that right in there. You might want to turn the speed down on your mixer when you do this part. We have a couple of 2 teaspoons actually of baking powder.
Okay.
It's going to give it a little lift. And 2 teaspoons of salt,
okay,
just to kind of balance it out.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to let this blend.
So pretty with that little hint of green.
Yep, gives it really nice color. You don't need too much. So yeah, the lime juice isn't green,
right,
even though limes are green.
Right.
It just kind of comes out like a cloudy,
exactly,
no color.
Yeah.
So the extract kind of, or not the extract, excuse me, the
food coloring
helps.
Yeah.
So our last step, we're going to add 4 cups of sugar.
Okay, a lot of sugar
So
here, but we're making a really big batch.
Exactly, and we're just going to blend this together until our sugar is dissolved into our eggs and lime juice.
Is this something that you have a lot at Zupa's? I know you always have the lemon bars.
Yep, we always have the lemon bars. I make the limes depending on the season.
Sure.
Sometimes customers request them.
Sure.
So I have them often. So to me, they're more of a Christmas time, like a winter dessert. That's when you usually see key lime pies and things like that.
Or spring, you know what I mean? Kind of both. Yeah.
Spring.
For me,
it's really nice
I
too.
could eat key limes all year round. Key lime pie, key lime anything.
Exactly. Me too. I absolutely love lime. All right, so we've got our key lime batter. We're just going to pour this over the top.
Okay.
And you can pour it right over the hot crust, right out of the oven. You don't have to let this crust cool.
I was going to ask you about that.
So, yep.
That is absolutely gorgeous. Preheat the oven to what temperature?
350 degrees.
Okay.
And this should take about 25 to 30 minutes to bake in the oven. You want it to not be jiggly in the middle. So you can kind of look at the pan and shake it, and once it stops jiggling in the middle, it's ready.
But it's not going to get brown or anything, right? You don't want it to get brown, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, yep, it will make a nice little kind of golden crust on the top.
Oh,
but once you cut into it, you'll see that beautiful green.
Okay, so this gets into the oven, the preheated 350-degree oven, and we have another batch right here.
Yes, we have a finished one.
So I guess it does get a little bit.
Just a little bit golden on the top.
And then how do we finish that off?
We finish it off with powdered sugar.
Okay.
And we just want to shake some on the top with our sifter.
Just keeping it simple, so it's all about the kind of the crust and the lime.
Yeah, we just want to decorate it with some powdered sugar.
And it looks like you're going to have plenty to share with your coworkers or your neighbors. Or for your book club or whatever. It makes a nice big batch. And we've sliced it up right here on the plate, and you can see how pretty it looks with the crust, and then you've got that middle layer of key lime and the powdered sugar on top. Wow, those look good. I think I might have to have.
All right.
No one will notice that one's missing. Recipes on our website. You can also pick it up, or go have them, I should say, at Zupa's anytime. So.